ISIS gaining ground, terrorists committing mass murder, Ebola inside the U.S., Americans alarmed about national security. What's President Obama doing? Making plans to bring terrorists from Guantanamo to our country.
State after state, people are doing all they can to scare you. That's not because it's almost Halloween. It's because it's almost Election Day. So what is this election about? Joining us now, Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, chair of the Democratic National Committee, and her counterpart, Reince Priebus, chair of the Republican National Committee. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you, Candy.
How is this not a wild scare tactic? This is like Ebola, ISIS, they're all coming to get you, and it's the president's fault. Is that your theme?
No, I think people are scared, though. I think national security, whether it be overseas, whether it be the economy, the borders. Here's the thing. I think ultimately what this election has a lot to do with is really bad management, mismanagement, the lack of management, managers that can't manage. I mean, and the president's at the head of all of this. I mean, the question really is the president's policies. It's not that really the president, but the president's made very clear this past week, and I think, you know, I'd be interested what Debbie has to say about this, but is the president's policies on the ballot? And I think they are on the ballot. And so that's one question on the ballot. But the second question is, should we pass a budget in this country? You know, should we pass one of 350 bills sitting on Harry Reid's desk? I mean, so, yes, it is about the president, and yes, it's about his policies, but the Democrats don't want to admit that the president's policies are on the ballot. So are they or are they not?
Congresswoman, is this election about President Obama's policies?
This election is about making sure that we elect a Congress that will focus on the priorities that people care about the most. And that's creating jobs, getting this economy turned around, investing in education and health care, making sure that we can focus on a foreign policy that keeps people safe from harm. I mean, Candy, I represent 750,000 people in the United States Congress. My number one priority is to make sure that we can help kick this economy into even higher gear domestically and keep people safe. And so I agree with Darrell Issa, my colleague.
The question is the president's policies on the ballot?
Reince, I let you finish.
That's the question.
I agree with Darrell Issa. And what Darrell Issa said was that we need, about the Ebola crisis, is that we need to make sure that we recognize that we have to keep our people safe, and we have to have policies that make sure that we can do that by not overreacting. So making sure that we have a balanced, rational policy where there's not overreaction, where we can keep people safe, and we can make sure that we can eradicate Ebola in the countries where people are coming from is important. And at the end of the day, what's on the ballot is our domestic policy that we need to have a Congress that has people's back, that keeps people safe from harm, and that focuses on helping people reach the middle class. And Republicans are focused on extremism and a Tea Party agenda.
Let me pick up the extremism thing for one thing, and I'll give you a shot at this. Because the word extremism is used fairly liberally in a lot of ads that we're seeing against Republic. Let me play something here first, Congresswoman, for 1 second. Sure. I want to play you something. This is a DSCC ad, so it's not from you all, but it's from your Democratic counterparts in the Senate. And this is against Colorado Senate candidate Cory Gardner's, and it's about his stance on abortion. I want to play a brief clip.
Gardner wants to ban abortions even in cases of rape and incest.
That's extreme.
Gardner is sponsoring a bill to ban all abortions right now.
Cory Gardner is wrong.
Cory Gardner is way too extreme for Colorado.
So we've heard this in previous elections, too extreme, their Tea Party, you can't work them. So it seems that the Democrats' overall message is, yeah, ISIS is scary, yeah, Ebola is scary, but Republicans are a lot scarier.
Well, that's right. Cory Gardner is a sponsor of a bill that would prevent women from being able to get access to make their own reproductive choices, even in the case of rape or incest.
Okay, now hang on a second.
The last thing we did before we left for the recess was vote to sue the president for doing his job, when the Republicans won't even do their job. They won't work with us.
Okay,
on
and Debbie still hasn't answered the question.
They shut the government
well, first of all, she still hasn't answered the question as to whether or not the president's policies are on the ballot. If she wants to talk about this,
Reince,
then
what's on the ballot
the
are
union
Democratic
leader
and Republican candidates.
Okay, well, this is ridiculous.
Hang on one second.
Democratic and Republican candidates.
Congresswoman, tell us what this election is about. What's on the ballot? Are they the president's policies?
Are they the president's policies or not? Are the president's policies on the ballot?
Thanks, Reince. Maybe you could have Candy ask me the questions rather than
She's been doing a great job of it so far. You haven't been answering them, though.
What's on the ballot is a choice for voters between Democrats who are running for Congress, and I'm one of them that's running for Congress, that's focused on creating jobs, on making sure that we can help people reach the middle class by focusing on investing in education and health care and infrastructure, and the choice between Republican candidates who support a Tea Party agenda, who do, like Cory Gardner, co-sponsor legislation that prevents women from making their own reproductive choices, even in the case of rape or incest, that sues the president for doing his job, that shuts the government down in the name of denying people health care. That's the choice. No, what it is it's reality. It's the reality that voters face in the next 9 days, Reince.
Okay, well, here's the deal.
Candidates who put extremism at the top of the agenda, and our candidates who focus on jobs and the economy.
Hey, hang on one second, Congressman.
It is. I'm enjoying it, too. Thank you.
Good for you. I mean, and the Denver Post and the union leader has said that the Democrats are beclowning themselves with this operation, talking about putting teenagers in jail. I mean, what about the fact that Charlie Crist, it was discovered the other day, has been taking thousands of dollars from strip club owners in Florida? Is Debbie going to call out Charlie Crist on that?
Unbelievable.
What about the congressman in New Mexico? What about the congressman in New Mexico that Debbie defended?
Candy, let's talk about the Florida governor's race.
Hang on one second, Congressman.
A person that was accused of beating up his wife. This person was accused of ransacking another wife's home.
This is all they have, Candy.
Can I ask you something?
And what does she do? She defends these people. She defends them. And then she comes after, and then she talks about this
My turn,
war on
Candy.
women.
Oh, yes,
My turn.
This is impossible because I can't even hear what's going on.
My turn.
Okay, I'm going to give you each 30 seconds.
Let's talk about Florida governor's
Wait 1 second, Congresswoman. I've only got 30 seconds for each of you, and I want to ask you something. So I understand what you all are talking about here. Reince is talking about, you all say the Republicans have a war on women, and he's pointing out some things that Republicans find objectionable. Do you think that Democrats
women are worse off
finding,
today
hang on, let me just ask you
ever
this
been under this president?
Do you think
Reince
that
just wants this to be a
Democrats and
monologue
Republicans are
because
talking
they don't have
about
any issues?
what voters
A monologue?
want them to talk
I think
about?
the monologue is coming from South Florida right now. Are you kidding me?
So I'm going to, okay. Rick Scott at the debate the other day, Candy, admitted that he delayed an execution of an inmate on death row because he wanted to make sure that Pam Bondi, our Attorney General, could attend a fundraiser. I mean, that is the type of decision that Rick Scott has disqualified himself from being governor of this state.
Okay,
and
Congresswoman,
all across the country, you have Republicans who don't take care of the priorities that people care about, which is jobs and the economy, and that's what this election is going to turn out.
And Debbie still hasn't answered the question as far as whether the president's policies are on the ballot. Are the president's policies on the ballot? Yes or no? Are the president's policies on the ballot? Yes or no?
Are on the ballot. Versus your candidate,
and things aren't going well, Debbie. Things are not going well in this country.
PNC and Reince Priebus,
chairman
of the
RNC.
We'll continue this during the break. I'll let you know who wins. Coming up, a break.